Hello, are you aware that the validity of formulas in physics can be tested using dimensional homogeneity? And that takes us to the topic, the subject, physics. This is Adobe Fikemba, where you learn physics, chemistry, and biology. Physics, dimensional homogeneity. Okay, now take for example, dimensional homogeneity is used to test the validity of formulas in physics. For example, if the period of vibration of a liquid is given this relationship, T is equals to K, A raised to power X, rho raised to power Y, and you have gamma raised to power Z. Given that A is your what? A is radius, okay, in this relationship, and given that rho is density, and given that gamma is surface tension. The question says, what is the value of X, Y, and Z? So what do we do here now? All we need to do is to quickly replace the what? The dimension of this. So since A is radius will be equal to what's the dimension of radius? Capital letter L. Then we have density, which is mass over volume. Is that also, which will be ml raised to power minus 3. What's the dimension of surface tension? Dimension is mt raised to power minus 2. That is the dimension of surface tension. This is the dimension of density, and this is the dimension of what? Of your radius. So what do you do here now in this case? What you do now is to take the dimensions and replace them into these variables given to us. So what do? You say K. The K is constant, okay? Take note. K will now be, what is A? You put L here, raised to power X. Is that taken? And then you have density ML raised to power minus 3. Put in bracket, and you put your what? Your X here. Okay? Do you know the reason why you are doing that? Sorry, you put Y there. That is why. Why are you putting that? Because this, if you try to put the Y directly, it will only affect this dimension, which is L. But since these two are together, you must put the Y and put the bracket so that you will expand it to giving you the dimensions for the rest of the power of Y. Then you have MT. Put dots here. It signifies multiplication. You have MT raised to power what? Minus 2 raised to power what? Z. The same thing will be done to that. Then what do you do? Come here now. Come here now and then say your T, this your period, will be given, it will be equals to what? L raised to power X. Now break this bracket out. Then you have M raised to power what? M raised to power Y. And then you also have what? N raised to power minus 3Y. Are you following what I'm doing here? Look at it now. And then you also have M raised to power Z and what? T raised to power what? Minus 2Z. Why are we doing this? We are doing this so that it will be very easy for us to have one single dimension. You know, we have LL here, we have MM. But in this case, since they've asked us to calculate X, Y, Z, we have to make all this thing a single form. So let's look at this now. According to the law of indices, when the bases are the same, and since it is multiplication, you are multiplying through. What do? You add their powers. So you now say this will be equals to L raised to power X. What? What is this? Plus times minus will be minus. So raised to power minus 3Y. Okay, so people might be asking, how did you get this minus 3Y? Because we are adding the power. So X plus bracket minus 3Y. Do you see it now? Plus times minus will give you what? Minus. So that's why we got this. So I haven't done that. What's the next thing that is common again? MM. So what do? You say M. Are you with me? M raised to power what? What do we have here? Y. Add the powers. Plus what? Plus Z. Are you with me? And then you now have T raised to power what? What do we have? T raised to power what? Minus 2Z. So you can see that this is already settled, and then you put your T. Don't forget that in the law of indices, I told you anything raised to power 0. It has been told us that anything raised to power 0, M raised to power 0 is equals to 1. Okay, L raised to power 0 is also equals to 1. Take note, according to the law of indices. So what do you do here now? To make your work very easy, look at the basis that you have here. You have period there, you have period there. So bring it out and you have T raised to power 1 is equals to T raised to power minus 2Z. Cancel. What do you have? minus 2z is equals to 1. Divide by minus 2, divide by minus 2. Therefore, your z will be equals to minus 1 over 2. Is that taken? For z. Now let's go and see how we can get for the other values. We are looking for the value of x, y, z. So we've gotten for z. Now, I will not clean totally so that I can use what I have to calculate. Now, let's move on now. Now, since we have y plus z. Why? I will take m because I already have something for z. So since I already have that, I will use this to get for y so that I can now solve for L. So what do? I will say here m raised to power 0 is equals to m raised to power what? Y plus z. Why did I have to say m raised to power 0? Because I told you anything raised to power what? Power 0 is the same thing as 1. So it's the same thing as saying m L 0 0. If you say m raised to power 0 is 1, L raised to power 0 is 1. 1 times 1 times t will still give you your t, which will give you your original relationship given in the equation. So now m raised to power 0, cancel the basis. What do you have? Y plus z is equals to 0. And already we've gotten our z to be what? Minus 2. 1 over 2. Y plus bracket minus 1 over 2 equals 0. So plus times minus is still minus. So you have y minus 1 over 2, 0. Therefore, your y will now be equals to what? Plus 1 over 2. Okay? So there's no need writing the plus. Can you see that now? So we've gotten the what? Our y. So we've gotten y and z. Now, from this relationship given to us, we can now go and look for x. Since we've gotten y from this relationship with z. So you come here now and say, L raised to power 0, you understand why I'm doing this? L raised to power 0 will now be equals to what? L raised to power x minus 3y. Do you see that now? So what do? I just cancel the base without wasting much time. And then you have 0. Then you have what? Then you have what? You have 0 will be equals to x minus 3y. Don't forget, what was our y? Our y was what? 1 over 2. So what do we have here? 0 will now be x minus into bracket 3. Now, put minus 3, put bracket. What's y? Y is 1 over 2. Put it this way, 1 over 2. So what do? This 3 is the same thing as saying 3 over 1. Do you understand it now? What do? You now say, therefore, x will be what? 3 over 2. So with this, we've been able to get the what? With this, we've been able to get the variables of what? Of this relationship. You now say, therefore, x, what did we get as x? We got x as 3 over 2, comma, y is what? 1 over 2, and z is minus 1 over 2. With this, we've been able to get the values because they say we should find the value of x, y, z. I'd like you to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram at Adobe Fikemba, and also on YouTube at Adobe Fikemba. See you in the next video. Thank you.